Everybody. I hope you guys are doing well. Take your time to get into the conversation and to get comfortable with the layout. I want to welcome you guys to the latest installment of our masterclass on investing. I'm going to give you guys a chance to get comfortable with the interface really quick. Those of you who are coming in for the first week, I want to welcome you to something that I'm hopeful, very hopeful, will change your life. I believe that it will. I believe that, in fact, I am extremely confident in the things that I teach. As you guys know, this has been my thing. I've been, teaching finance for a very long time, and I know what I'm talking about. And so, anyway, go ahead and I want you to notice two sections in the interface. One is the chat area where you can chat with other classmates. The other section is the area, the Q&A area, where you can ask questions. And so I want to say hi, Lisa McKinney. I see you in here. Let me see who else. Let me see if I can figure out where I can look at your names in the chat section. There we go. Brita, Charles, Ernest. Is it Ernst or Ernest? Helen, Lee, Monty, Nehemiah, Paul, Sparkle, Vonnie, and I see a few others in here. And I want you guys to, I want to ask you guys actually, the first few weeks of the masterclass, have you benefited from what you've seen? Have you been able to gain and learn? That's the first question. So if you've been learning, if you've been growing, if you feel that this has given you something that helps change your perspective on economics, please say something in the chat. And then also, I want to let you guys know that you guys can actually, if you'd like to, you can actually come back and give us feedback on what's gonna work as far as us doing the masterclass going forward, how we can help more people, how we can do a better job. We really want your feedback on this. The main thing that, if you want to know what my secret objective is, I have an agenda. My agenda for Black people is pretty simple. It's really conquering. It's really us, building, making a power move in this generation. I actually did something, a short video today on drboycetv.com, where I was actually talking about Bank of America. And I don't know if you guys know, but Bank of America was actually a power play by the Italian community to put together wealth. That was their powernomics move. And basically, what they did was they had the Bank of Italy. And in fact, I'll actually pull this up. Let me Google this, because I actually want to talk to you guys about this for a second. So give me a second here. Okay, so give me a second. Let me pull up Bank of America. I actually want to talk about two power plays that I'm hoping will give you a vision. That's it. I just want you to have a vision. And the reason vision matters is because it's very difficult to really do anything that hasn't been done in your community if you can't visualize what it is that you want to create. And so for us, sometimes because the visions don't always exist in our community or in a way that makes sense for us, sometimes we got to borrow visions from other people. We got to go to other communities and see what visions they've created and how they became what they were. And that can serve as a part of our vision. So one of the books that I always recommend you guys read, I mentioned this to all the students in the Black Business School. I think we're about 80,000 students now, 80,000 strong, and I want to get to 100,000 by the end of the summer, and eventually, into the hundreds of thousands, maybe over 1 million in the next couple of years, 2, 3, 4 years. We're going to keep reinvesting to see if we can make that happen. One of the things that I've been telling you guys to do is read a book called How the Jews Invented Hollywood. That book is an extraordinary book because it's written by a Jewish man who lays out in detail how the Jews made their power move, how they built this vast Hollywood infrastructure as a response to the oppression they were feeling, to the fact that they were, kind of like the way it's always been for Black folks, they weren't invited to participate in anybody else's game. So they said, well, we're going to change the game by creating our own game. We're going to get our own ball, we're going to build our own court, and we're going to play our own game, and then you have to be invited into our game. So what happened was that because they went ahead and had that vision and they executed the vision, now, you can't get into Hollywood unless you get approval from the Jewish community. If you go to Hollywood and you say something that the Jewish community is not happy with, you're gone, you're done. They're blackball you, you're out of there. And I love that. Now let me tell you about the Italian community. A lot of people don't know that Bank of America actually started off as the Bank of Italy. Did you guys know that? Did you know that? The founder of Bank of America was a guy named Amadio Giannini. And I want to figure out what year it is here. Let me see. Let me see if I can cut to the chase here. So let me tell you. Let me just click on this part where with Giannini. So Giannini, he lived from 1870 to 1949. He was an Italian-American banker who founded the Bank of Italy, which became Bank of America. Giannini is credited as the inventor of many modern banking practices. Most notably, Giannini was one of the first bankers to offer banking services to middle-class Americans rather than only to the upper class. So, you know, basically, I thought about this as I was walking through, you know, Midtown Manhattan, and I saw the Bank of America building. It's a big, gigantic, beautiful building. And a lot of you have accounts with Bank of America and did not know that Bank of America was actually a Powernomics move on behalf of the Italian community. Another interesting Powernomics story is the singer Rihanna. Rihanna actually just made news by being, I guess, the richest singer on the planet. She's not, I don't know if she's Jay-Z wealthy, but she's right up there with Jay in terms of having a few $100 million in her net worth, which really, if you remember, you know, Jay-Z put Rihanna on. He was the one that actually got, you know, discovered her, quote unquote. And so, you know, the fact that she's already up there, she's already doing that well, means that, you know, she's actually probably ahead of where Jay-Z was at the time that Jay, you know, was the same age as her. So I'm reading here, and in fact, she's only 31 years old. Remember, Jay is, I think he's 50 now, or he's close to 50. So she's got, you know, 18-year head start on him, but has a $600 million fortune. After expanding her brand with businesses such as Fenty Beauty and Savage X Fenty. It says here, Robin Rihanna Fenty made it possible to forget her name as the icon, to forget her name as the icon, transformed into a brand that went beyond lyrics to help make her the wealthiest female musician in the world. Rihanna, 31, has amassed a $600 million fortune after launching wildly popular businesses in makeup and lingerie, according to Forbes. Let's see here. The singer's Fenty Beauty makeup line launched in 2017 as Sephora and reportedly made $100 million in sales. So let's see. So she's made $100 million in sales. Oh, in the first few weeks, in part due to its focus on diversity. So what Rihanna's team did, which I thought was great, every brilliant celebrity, every celebrity that wants to really leverage their brand has to understand the importance of teamwork, the importance of working together with people that have skill sets that you don't have, you know, so that you can actually create opportunities. And so Jay-Z and Rihanna, it appears, are two of many celebrities who are making a really important transfer of wealth, going from sort of this human capital model that says, you know, which is, to me, I would almost call this the R. Kelly model. The R. Kelly model of making money, because R. Kelly, unfortunately, didn't seem to have a good team around him when it came to financial moves. The R. Kelly model of making money is, I sing for you, you pay me. You know, I show up and sing, you give me money, you give me a briefcase full of cash, and I go and, you know, and pay for women or liquor, whatever it is I do after the club is over. The more appropriate model, the best model, is one that says, look, you know, right now I'm young, I'm hot, I'm on top, but it ain't gonna always be that way. Right now, my greatest wealth is not in the fact that I can sing and dance. My greatest wealth actually is from the fact that I am world famous. When you say my name means something to people. I have connections. I have other celebrities. I have people that want to be near me. People will pay money to be near me. I'm a social media influencer. I have a social media platform that has, you know, 20 million people. Like, I don't know. Let me see how many people Rihanna has on Instagram. Let me see. I'm going to look this up real quick. Give me a second. I got so many freaking tabs open. Let me see here. Rihanna Instagram. Let's see. How many followers does Rihanna have on Instagram? Rihanna has 71 million followers on Instagram. And I bet you that her Twitter's popping. Let's see. How many followers does Rihanna have on Twitter? Rihanna has 91 million followers on Twitter, 71 million on Instagram. So the reason that you see a lot of these celebrities partnering up with all these nerdy white guys is because these nerdy white guys, they see sometimes some of them, and some of them are nerdy black guys too. Hopefully they got, or not even nerdy at all, just black, white people. Hopefully they'll partner with more black people. I really wish they would actually tap into black business minds as opposed to just always going to white folks to get these things done. But you know, what the nerds understand is how, you know, how hard it is to be cool and how valuable it is to be cool. You know, how valuable it is to be an influencer. An influencer is somebody who convinces other people to do something. So, you know, and I love seeing these influencers making millions of dollars with their influence, because it basically proves something I've been arguing for years. If you go back to a debate I had with Michael Eric Dyson at Brown University years ago about hip hop and the effect that hip hop music has on the minds of children, you know, part of the debate was, well, it's just music, you know, nobody cares, nobody does what a rapper tells them to do. And I'm like, no, actually, rappers are huge influencers on the public, not just rappers, but entertainers, period. And so, you know, the fact that you now see Rihanna worth 600 million, the fact that you see Jay-Z is now a billionaire, Nas is worth hundreds of millions of dollars, shows you the impact of that influence and the power of those brand names, and the fact that they translated that brand power into other forms of capital will allow Rihanna and Nas and Jay-Z and whomever to make money long after their looks have faded and their popularity has faded as well. There's going to come a time, maybe in the next decade or sooner or later, depending, where people are not going to pay money to see Rihanna sing. So Rihanna, by putting you know, her brand into these other products that are built on machines, on systems, and not on her performing, that really is a huge power move. And in fact, that's one of the things that I actually encourage you to consider for your children, especially given that tonight's lecture is going to be on how to turn your child into a millionaire. That's going to be the topic of conversation for tonight, you know, in the masterclass. You know, you really want to teach your kids the right way to make money. The best way to make money is not through performance. The best way to make money is not through labor. The best way to make money is through systems, and systems or branding. When you understand things like that, then you can develop ways to make money even while you're asleep. You can make money even when you're sick. You can make money even when you don't work. You can make money when you're on vacation. You can make money when you're dead if you build the appropriate system. So, for example, you know, and it doesn't have to be, you know, hundreds of millions of dollars, but you know, I've made a little bit of money in my life, and I can say this: if I were to die tomorrow, God forbid, if I stopped breathing tomorrow and I was gone, the name Dr. Boyce Watkins still has economic value that can be utilized, you know, for 50 years, you know, maybe longer, right? It can be utilized to make money long after I'm gone. Somebody could compile a bunch of my lectures, and as you guys know, I do a lot of stuff online, right? They could pull it all together and put out books with my name on them, or put out lecture series with my name on it, whatever it is, and those things would actually have economic value, right? So ultimately, what we have to understand as a community are those concepts like brand building, system development, what it means to make an investment and grow that investment into wealth, because that's the key to power. That's the key to economic power. So in tonight's slideshow, what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically lay out for you in detail a model that I created for the Black community, so that we as a community can be the most financially literate, most financially intelligent community